Hello there and welcome back to my channel, or of course welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Alex, and if you are new here, make sure you stick around and subscribe. If you're not new here and you've been here for a while, then why not make sure that notification bell switched on just so you're notified of every single time that I upload. Now firstly, before I jump into today's video, if you head over to my channel, yesterday's video, Vlogmas Day 7, was my 5k giveaway. So if you've missed that upload, make sure you go over and enter that, because it's a huge Revolution Beauty giveaway with 2 winners. So I thought I'd just remind you that I do have a giveaway up at the moment. And for today's video, I feel like I've been doing a lot of hauls, a lot of unboxings. It's time to do another review slash tutorial, and I have just very recently bought this eyeshadow palette. I did briefly mention it in my Black Friday haul, and I asked my patrons like what eyeshadow palette review should I do next. I've got the Mitchell Feet on the Ground palette, I've got the Natasha Denona Glam palette, the Ace Beauty palettes, Too Faced Pumpkin Spice, the Salted Caramel, etc, etc. I've got loads of palettes to reviews on, and most of them voted for the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. Now this is not a palette that I was planning on purchasing. I mean, I wanted to, but I didn't actually get around to purchasing it on Black Friday because I'd ordered so much stuff, as you would have seen. But one of my beautiful friends and patrons, Claire, she got sent her order twice. The first order got lost, but then they found it. I don't know, very confusing. But anyway, she was selling this for an absolute bargain price. This retails for £40. No way would I have purchased it for £40 because, you know, I like a bit of a bargain. So I think she was selling this to me for like 25 quid, and I was like, do you know what? I'm not going to get it cheaper than that, so I'm going to purchase it. So this is the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. They do bring out one of these like every single year. And I've never owned a Too Faced pumpkin palette before, until now obviously, and I'm very excited. I've seen a few tutorials on this and I absolutely love the look of it, and I cannot wait to test it for myself. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's in that like tin material, and are you ready? This is what the palette looks like. If I just show you that up close, how gorgeous is this? Like, it's so pretty. And it does have a smell to it. I've never actually tried pumpkin myself, but it smells kind of like sweet cinnamon. I don't know, that's probably the best I can describe it. I'm not very good at describing things, but I've never tried pumpkin before, but that's the smell of the palette. So it does have a slight scent to it, but it's not too overpowering. This palette is really lovely. It's got a mixture of like warm and like neutral tones in here. You have pops of shimmer in here. It looks like there's like 2 different formulas of shimmer, so we'll definitely have a look and see what they're like. But this is what the palette is. It costs £40, so it's not a cheap palette. I don't actually have many like Too Faced in my collection, so I'm happy to add to it. So that is what the palette looks like. I'm now going to hop on to the swatches, and then we can get on to the eye look. And this is what the palette looks like swatch. So some of the mattes, not gonna lie, did feel a bit dry. There is definitely 2 different types of formula in here in terms of shimmer. One is slightly more foiled and chunky formula, and the other one is just like a regular shimmer. And I must say, it's quite versatile. You've got warm tones in here, you've got cool tones, you've got purples and pinks, you've got greens. I think you could do quite a few looks with this palette, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the formula is like. Oh, satisfying. I look like an egg like this. Like, where is my hair? Okay, so because this palette is called Pumpkin Spice, I think I'm gonna like stick to these like orangey reddy shades. They're so beautiful, and I can't stop smelling this palette. Like, it smells incredible. So I'm firstly gonna take the Pumpkin Spice shade here, which is the orange, the yellowy orange. And by the way, I prime my eyes with the Anastasia Beverly Hills eye primer. I don't normally, but I just thought I'd change it up for today because I always use a Revolution one. So there was a little bit of kickback in the pan, but I mean, it's come out really pigmented. So I'm really impressed so far. And now I'm going to take a fluffy brush. By the way, that first brush I used was a Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH33. And this is a Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH32. And I'm going to take this light peachy shade here, which is called fall for it, and I'm going to use that to start blending out the orange. Next, I'm going to take this shade here, which is called Ginger Spice, and I think I'm just going to put this on my outer corner just to deepen that up. Okay, and these are the shades all blended out, and I'm absolutely loving this so far. I'm now going to hop off camera and do like a half cut crease on both sides using the ABH eye primer. This is really good for cut creases because of how dry the formula is, so I'm going to use this and then I'll be right back. The only thing I'll say about this palette is that the shimmer selection in here is not the best. Like, I feel like we need like a bright inner corner and brow bone shade, the lighter shades in here, and I still think that's going to be too dark for me. And yeah, like, I feel like this palette is more for the mattes rather than the shimmers. I don't know, I've been blown away by the matte so far, and I just feel like the shimmers are not going to live up to that expectation. I don't know, we'll have to see. I'm not really too sure what shade to go for. There's the rose gold, there's like a green here, a green there, and then another pink and two like purples. Let's go for the rose gold because I feel like I could possibly use this one as an inner corner. I don't know, what do these look like next to each other? Yeah, I don't know. Let's use the rose gold shade to start off with on the lid, and then I can go in with this one if I need to. Yeah, I just feel like the shimmers are not the greatest in here. You can definitely use the shimmers for like different looks, like an all purpley look or something, but for this look in particular, I don't know, I feel like a nice gold would have gone perfect with this look. So I'm going to take the rose gold shimmer, which is called Crisp. I'm going to take this dry. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we'll see. There's a little bit of fallout with that shade, but I feel like it hasn't really done anything. It kind of just looks like I've put like a orangey shimmer on, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm happy with that, so do you know what, I'm just going to go over the top with this shade down here, which is called Oh My God. Not really too sure. The shimmer is definitely different on this one, so let's see if it makes a difference. Okay, so those are the shimmers on. They are reflective, but they're not like as blinding as shimmery as I would like them. The chunky formula, I don't know, it doesn't really make much difference. If anything, it just shows up in like chunky bits of shimmer. But I mean, it did make a difference. You can definitely see the pinky tones of shimmer on my lid now. But I'm just gonna blend in these outer corners with the matte shade because there's no really shimmer. There's no other shimmer to blend this out with. So I'm just going to go back in with Ginger Spice here. And I'm just going to start blending this in. Okay, so for the shimmer, I know I've moved on from that, but I just wanted to go back in with it with some spray because I didn't want to give up on it. And I'm not going to lie, the spray has slightly helped. So if you're going to use the shimmers in this palette, I would strongly recommend wetting them before you apply them to your lid, because then they're much more reflective and shiny. I don't know if you can tell, but I feel like they don't look as flat anymore, and they do look really nice and reflective. Okay, and next we're on to my lower lash line, and I think I'm going to go in with Spice Baby, which is this brownie shade here. It's quite warm toned, so I thought it'd go really well with this look. All these shades seem to have a little bit of kickback, but I mean, they're really pigmented. Okay, and lastly, for my inner corner and brow bone, I think I'm going to have to go in with those pinky shades that I used again. So I'll just try the crisp shade and the Oh My God shade and just see what works. So some of these shades do have kickback, so I would be a bit wary of that if you're going to use this palette. But in terms of my inner corner and brow bone, I just use the crisp shade underneath and the oh my god or whatever that says over the top, just to brighten it up a bit. It's still not as bright as I'd love my inner corner and brow bone to be, but it will certainly do the job for now. And this is now the completed eyeshadow. I'm now going to hop off camera. I'm going to put some lashes, mascara and lipstick on, and then I'll be right back with my final thoughts. Right guys, so I'm back and this is my completed look. So for my lashes, I have the Pound lashes in the style Dream. These are probably my favourite pair from Pound lashes. I absolutely love them. My mascara is the Benefit Bad Girl Bang. To be honest, I'm just trying to finish it up because I'm pretty sure it's on like the last bit, which is good because I already have a backup. And then my lips is kind of a combination of two Too Faced lipsticks I've got. So I don't get these out very often because these are from the liquid lipstick set a couple of years ago. It's just their like melted matte formula. This shade Sugar Cookie is actually available in this year's set if you're wondering, but the shade that is the majority of my lips is this one, which is the Hot Buttered Rum shade. Unfortunately you can't actually buy this now, which is such a shame because it's such a beautiful like a brownie gorgeous nude shade and I absolutely love it. But I wanted to pick this one because this one's slightly more brownie. I feel like I look very autumnal right now and I'm absolutely loving it. So I love these liquid lipsticks. I feel like I need to pick some more up from Too Faced because they're such a good formula. Now we can finally sit down and talk about the eyeshadow palette. So firstly, I absolutely love the packaging. I can't remember what the other pumpkin palettes look like, but this one is absolutely stunning. I love this tin packaging. I love the like Revolution tin packaging as well. I don't know, it's just really different and not like a lot of normal eyeshadow palettes. It's a really cute design and I absolutely love it. Now the colour story is really, really beautiful. I love the fact that there's quite a lot of different shades in here, so I can think of at least like 4 or 5 different looks I can do with this, because you have some green tones, some orangey reddy tones, you have neutrals, you have purples, you have a pinky purple. I feel like there's a lot of looks you can do with this palette. I feel like the only thing that's missing for me is like a wearable shimmer, if that makes sense, like maybe like a gold shimmer to go with this like warm toned palette. I feel like that would have been so good in here and I would have definitely used that on my half cut crease. But apart from that, it's absolutely stunning. I love the formula of the mattes in here. The mattes are so incredible. They're really pigmented, really easy to blend in with each other, and I literally had no issues with the mattes whatsoever, and there are the majority mattes in here, so I'm super happy with that. Now the shimmers in this palette are not like exceptional quality for me, especially when you're paying £40 for an eyeshadow palette. I don't know, I feel like the formula could have been a little bit better, just because I feel like there wasn't enough like wow factor with the shimmers in this palette. The only way I was able to get it to look really reflective was to wet it with like an eye primer, which is not a problem. But when you're paying £40 for an £18 palette, I don't know, I just feel like the shimmer formula could be slightly better, but it's not too bad when you actually wet them with like a spray, which again, not an issue at all. I just think the quality could have been just a tiny little bit better. Also with this palette there is a little bit of fallout, so just watch out for that when you're using this palette. But apart from that, honestly, I am so in love with this palette. I'm so glad I've got it now, because so many of my patrons had it and I was like, Alex, you don't need it, Alex, you don't need it, Alex, you don't need it. And then when I could get it for a really good discount, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna treat myself, and I'm glad I did, because now I know that I can create a few more looks with this. I might upload one to my Instagram soon, just playing maybe with like the darker neutrals or the purpley tones in here. It's just such a stunning palette. I absolutely love it. It is £40, so it is quite expensive. Would I say you need it in your collection? I mean, not necessarily. This is actually limited edition, so if you don't pick it up when it's available, it will go out of stock eventually and you won't be able to get it anymore. So the fact that it's limited edition, I mean, I don't know, it depends. If you collect Too Faced palettes, this would be a really nice palette in your collection. But yeah, it is £40, but I really like it. I like the mattes in here. They are a beautiful formula, And I feel like if you love Too Faced eyeshadows, you're gonna absolutely love this. And if you want just like a nice warm toned pumpkin eyeshadow colour story, then you're really gonna like this. And I think it's really good for like every day as well, the nice like warm tones. It's just such an autumnal palette. Obviously it's called the Pumpkin Spice palette, which is screaming autumnal, and I really like it. So I am going to recommend it based on my first impressions, because I was really a big fan of the mattes in this palette. The shimmers needed a little bit more work, but still overall I'm really happy with this palette and I would recommend it. It's just stunning and I cannot wait to play with it again. So that is pretty much it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. Let me know down below what you think of this eyeshadow palette and have you picked it up. I would love to know. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below and I will see you in my next video. Bye.